Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something tonight that might just change how you walk out of this room. See, everybody wants to be successful, but not everybody is willing to pay the price for success. It's not sold on discount. It's not found in comfort. Success lives on the other side of struggle, sacrifice, and self-discipline. Success begins with discipline, not desire. This is where most people get it wrong. They think wanting something badly enough will bring it to their doorstep. But desire without discipline is like a car without fuel. You can sit in the driver's seat, you can dream about the destination, you can even honk the horn to feel like you're doing something, but you won't move an inch. See, desire is emotional, it's temporary, it feels strong today and weak tomorrow. But discipline, that's a decision, that's a muscle. It shows up even when your emotions don't. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you feel motivated. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It just gets the job done every single day. When you look at people who made it, who came from nothing and built something lasting, what you'll find behind all that success isn't just ambition, it's structure. It's daily routines. It's sacrifices made when no one was looking. It's the alarm clock going off before sunrise and that person choosing to rise with it. It's choosing water over wine, books over parties, focus over distraction. They didn't feel like it most of the time, but they did it anyway. That's discipline. And that's what separates the ones who wish from the ones who win. People ask all the time, Steve, how do I stay motivated? And I tell them straight up, you won't. Motivation is seasonal. It comes and goes like the weather. But discipline, that's permanent if you build it. It's a habit you train like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, it's hard. Your body resists. Your mind argues. But if you show up anyway, if you do the thing, even when it's uncomfortable, that's when you start to change. That's when your life starts to change. Your brain starts rewiring. Your habits begin to align with your goals. And once that happens, results become inevitable. Let me be real with you. Discipline is lonely. It doesn't feel good at first. It means saying no when everyone else is saying yes. It means staying in when others go out. It means turning off distractions and tuning into your mission. But here's what people miss. It's also the most freeing thing you can give yourself. Because once you get disciplined, you're no longer a prisoner to your feelings. You don't rely on external forces to keep you going. You're in control. You've taken the wheel of your own life. Discipline also builds trust, self-trust. Every time you do what you said you'd do, even when it's hard, you build credibility with yourself. That confidence starts stacking. You walk taller. You stop negotiating with your goals. You stop making excuses. You start believing in your ability to execute, not just in vision. And that belief, that's your secret weapon. That's a thing nobody can take from you. Not the economy, not your boss, not social media. That's yours. Built in silence, powered by repetition, and proven through results. Now, I know it sounds tough because it is, but the truth is, discipline isn't punishment, it's protection. It protects your future, it protects your dream. It protects you from regret. See, everybody pays. Either you pay the price of discipline today or the price of regret tomorrow. One hurts now, the other hurts forever. And that's a trade you have to make every single day. Every morning you wake up and choose between your feelings and your future, between your comfort and your calling, between the life you have and the one you want. And the key to unlocking it all is not found in how badly you want it, but in how consistently you work for it. Consistency is louder than talent. You can have all the gifts in the world, all the intelligence, all the natural abilities, but if you're not consistent, none of it matters. Talent might give you a head start, but consistency is what carries you across the finish line. People love to talk about potential. They love to point at someone and say, that person is so talented. But let me tell you something, talent without work ethic is waste. It's just noise. Consistency is what transforms average people into legends. It's what builds trust, what delivers results, and what makes dreams real. You can't be great occasionally. You can't show up only when it's convenient. You have to be committed to the grind on the days you feel like it and on the days you don't. That's where the magic happens. That's where growth lives. When you show up every single day and give your best, even if your best isn't perfect, you begin to build something real. You begin to send a message to the world that you can be counted on. People respect consistency more than flashes of brilliance, because brilliance fades without repetition. Anybody can go hard for a month, but what separates the successful from the struggling is what they do when no one's watching, when no one's clapping, when no one's validating them. Do they still show up? Do they still give their all? That's what consistency is. It's a quiet kind of power. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need attention. It just needs purpose. See, life doesn't reward the person who tries hardest once. It rewards the person who refuses to quit. The person who says, I'm going to get better every day, even if it's just by 1%. And that small improvement done daily compounds into something extraordinary. That's what people miss. They think they need to make a huge leap, but real change happens slowly, silently, and steadily. It happens when you show up and do the work, whether it's exciting or not, whether the weather's good or not, whether people believe in you or not. You become unstoppable when your commitment is bigger than your move. Consistency also builds character. It teaches you discipline, patience, and humility. It keeps your ego in check. When you commit to showing up every day, you start realizing how much effort it really takes to win. And that awareness keeps you grounded. It teaches you to appreciate the journey, to respect the process. It humbles you, but it also empowers you. Because with every day you stay consistent, you're proving to yourself that you can be trusted with your own goals. And that kind of self-respiry, that's a game changer. Let's be honest, we all get tired. We all have days where we want to skip the gym, cancel the plan, push the dream to tomorrow. But consistency doesn't care about feelings. It's not emotional. It's a decision. You choose to be consistent even when it's boring, even when the progress is invisible, even when you feel stuck. And eventually the results will speak. They'll speak louder than any excuse, louder than any doubt, louder than any voice that ever told you you weren't enough, because your actions will have built a track record that nobody can deny. The truth is, talent is a gift, but consistency is a skill, and skills can be developed. Anybody can be consistent if they're willing to commit, if they're willing to stop chasing the feeling and start building the foundation. That's how success is built. Not on motivation, not on luck, not on one big break, but on 1,000 small efforts that nobody saw. So show up every single day, especially on the days when you don't feel like it, because those are the days that count the most. Surround yourself with vision, not noise. The people you keep close, the environments you put yourself in, and the energy you allow into your space are shaping your future more than you realize. Every conversation you have, every room you sit in, every piece of advice you absorb is either feeding your vision or distracting you from it. Noise is everywhere. People talking about nothing, chasing trends, complaining about their problems but doing nothing to solve them. Vision is rare. Vision is quiet, focused, intentional. If you're serious about building something meaningful, if you're truly committed to success, you need to start protecting your environment like your life depends on it, because it does. Most people don't fail because they're not smart or not capable. They fail because they listen to too many voices that have no vision. You can't build a life of purpose while constantly entertaining pointless distractions. You can't run toward greatness while surrounded by people walking in circles. You can't think big while staying small in your circle. If you're always around people who doubt themselves, guess what? They'll start making you doubt yourself. If you're always around people who make excuses, you'll start making excuses too. Energy is contagious. Attitudes are contagious. Habits are contagious. So ask yourself, who are you catching your mindset from? You need to be around people who talk about dreams like they're real. People who make you uncomfortable in a good way. People who challenge your comfort zone, not protect it. The right circle will stretch your thinking, will hold you accountable, will celebrate your wins and call you out on your laziness. The wrong circle will laugh at your dreams, distract you from your goals, and keep you small because your growth threatens their comfort. Not everyone is supposed to go where you're going. Not everyone deserves access to your vision. That's not arrogance. That's awareness. Now, here's the hard part. Sometimes the people making the most noise in your life are the ones closest to you. Family, friends, co-workers, the people you grew up with. They don't always mean harm. Sometimes they're just afraid. Afraid you might outgrow them. Afraid to see you take risks they're not brave enough to take. But you have to be bold enough to separate yourself when necessary. That doesn't mean you stop loving people. It means you start prioritizing your future. You have to draw boundaries between your purpose and their opinions. Because if you don't, you'll wake up one day and realize you've spent your whole life trying to please people who don't even believe in your path. Surrounding yourself with vision also means feeding your mind with clarity. Read books that make you think bigger. Watch content that pushes you forward. Attend rooms that scare you a little because everyone in there is ahead of you. That's how you grow. Get around people who force you to level up just by being in their presence. Get around energy that feels like purpose. And if you can't find that kind of circle yet, build it. Start becoming the kind of person you want to attract. Stay focused. Be consistent. Keep your standards high and your vision higher. You've got to make a choice every day between noise and purpose. The world is full of distractions. Gossip, negativity, comparison, fear. That's the noise. That's the stuff that slows you down, clouds your judgment, and makes you forget who you are and what you're working toward. But when you surround yourself with vision, clear goals, driven people, growth-focused energy, you can't help but move forward. You start thinking differently, acting differently, speaking differently. Because now you're aligned. You're locked in. You're surrounded by people and energy that push you, not pull you away from who you're becoming. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. When life knocks you down, and it will, most people see that fall as the end. They look at failure as final, but failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the process. It's not meant to break you. It's meant to build you. That's how growth happens. You don't get stronger lifting feathers. You grow through resistance. You grow through the losses, the rejections, the disappointment. Every setback is shaping you, preparing you, and redirecting you towards something greater than what you thought you wanted. But most people quit in the middle. They give up in the pain. They don't realize that the setback is just the middle of the story, not the conclusion. You ever see someone come back stronger after a major loss? That strength didn't come from comfort. It came from struggle. It came from moments where everything looked like it was falling apart, but they chose to keep going. They learned how to take that pain and turn it into power. That's what a comeback is. It's a decision to rewrite the story when the world already wrote your ending. It's refusing to let your low moments define your whole identity. It's saying, this isn't where I stop. This is where I start again, stronger, smaller, and more focused. Sometimes the setback is necessary because it exposes what you couldn't see at the top. It humbles you. It clears out the fake supporters. It forces you to reevaluate what really matters. It slows you down just enough so you can see what was wrong in your foundation. Setbacks can be blessings if you know how to learn from them. But if you keep crying over closed doors, you'll miss the ones that are opening in front of you. You have to shift your mindset from why is this happening to me to what is this trying to teach me? That shift alone turns you from a victim to a warrior. It gives you power. It gives you clarity. One of the biggest lies we're told is that success is a straight line. It's not. It's messy. It's filled with detours, delays, and breakdowns, but it's also filled with comebacks. Some of the most successful people on this planet have been through hell. They've gone bankrupt. They've been fired. They've been told no over and over again, but they didn't stay down. They got back up. And every time they rose, they came back with more strength, more knowledge, and more fire. That's what makes them powerful. Not the wins, but the way they handled the losses. When you're in a setback, it feels like everything is crumbling. You feel lost, alone, like nothing's working. But that's not the time to give up. That's the time to dig deeper. That's the time to develop new skills, new mindset, new strategies. You might not be able to change the situation immediately, but you can change your attitude toward it. You can choose to use it instead of letting it use you. You can choose to let it build your character instead of breaking your confidence. That's your comeback starting right there. The truth is, life will test you. It will challenge you, but it will also reward your perseverance. The pain you feel today is planting seeds of strength for tomorrow. And when you rise from that pain, when you walk through that storm and come out on the other side, you'll realize that what tried to destroy you actually developed you. You'll see that the setback wasn't punishment, it was preparation. It was life giving you the tools and the toughness for what's next. You can't have a powerful testimony without a few tough tests. You can't lead others if you've never led yourself through the fire. So the next time life throws you off course, don't panic. Remember that every setback is just a setup waiting for your comeback to begin. If you want it, work like you already have it. Most people sit around waiting for permission to chase their dreams, waiting for someone to recognize their potential, waiting for the perfect moment to take action. But life doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who move. It rewards the doers, the ones who act like what they want is already theirs. When you start moving with that kind of belief, with that kind of intensity, you begin to attract the very things you're working for. Acting like it's already yours doesn't mean being arrogant. It means being aligned. Aligned with the habits, the mindset, the focus, and the attitude of someone who already knows they belong where they're going. The problem is, too many people dream like kings but work like beggars. They talk big, they post big, they hope big, but they don't move big. They wait for results before giving effort. They wait for applause before bringing discipline. They want the reward without the sacrifice. But if you really want it, if you can see it, you've got to train like it's already in your hand. You've got to show up early, stay late, and grind like your name is already being called. Because that's how champions are made. Not by waiting for opportunity, but by preparing so intensely that when it shows up, it feels like home. When you work like it's already yours, your energy shifts. You stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop comparing your path to someone else's. You stop questioning your worth every time something doesn't go your way. You start leading your own life instead of waiting for someone else to lead it for you. You walk into rooms with presence, not desperation. You approach your craft with excellence, not ego. You take ownership of your vision and you commit to the process, whether it's glamorous or not. This mindset also silences doubt. When you work like you already have it, you stop asking, will this ever happen for me? And start saying, I'm already on the way. That confidence becomes your fuel. It becomes the thing that separates you in a world full of people who are all talk and no action. Because people feel that energy. They can tell when you're locked in. They can tell when you're committed, not just curious. And that energy attracts opportunity, partnerships, mentorships, and doors you didn't even know existed. It's not luck, it's preparation meeting purpose. The truth is, greatness doesn't come to the most talented, it comes to the most prepared. You might not have all the resources, all the knowledge, all the experience right now, but you can control how you show up. You can control your habits, your discipline, your hunger. And if you start showing up like someone who's already successful, the world will begin to treat you like it too. Not because you faked it, but because you earned it with consistency and clarity. You acted in faith, and faith in action is the loudest signal to the universe that you're ready for more. This isn't about pretending to be something you're not. It's about stepping into the version of you that already lives inside, the version that's been buried under fear, doubt, procrastination, and past failures, the version that knows what they're capable of, but hasn't been given the permission or the space to fully emerge. That version needs to lead now. That version needs to guide your choices, your habits, your relationships, your standards, because the life you want is waiting for the version of you who's bold enough to act like it's already happening, not someday, not when things are easier, but right now with whatever you have from wherever you are. Faith without grind is fantasy. A lot of people walk around talking about their dreams, claiming they believe, saying they've got big plans and powerful goals. They speak it with passion. They pray about it. They write it on vision boards and post it on social media. But they forget the part that matters most, the work. Faith is the foundation, yes, but grind is the construction. Faith without work is just a wish. It's empty. It sounds good, but it doesn't move anything. You can't just believe in the dream and expect it to manifest if you're not willing to dig in, to sacrifice, to show up tired, and to keep pushing even when the results don't show up right away. Faith is what gives you the vision, but grind is what gives you the results. They are partners. You need both. Having faith alone is not enough. You've got to put your hands to the plow. You've got to take action when you don't feel ready, when you're scared, when everything in your life looks opposite of what you're praying for. That's real faith. Not just believing when it's easy, but grinding when it's hard. Faith isn't passive. It's not about sitting back and waiting for life to happen. It's about trusting the promise while putting in the effort. It's believing the door will open, but still knocking on every single one until it does. People get frustrated when they say they believe, but nothing changes. They ask why life isn't shifting, why their dreams still feel so far away. But if you're not grinding, if you're not giving effort, discipline, and relentless focus, your faith is stuck in your imagination. You've got to stop dreaming about the life you want and start building it. That means doing the work nobody claps for. That means early mornings, long nights, missed parties, uncomfortable conversations, painful decisions, and daily sacrifices. That means not just having faith when it's convenient, but grinding like it's urgent. Grind is what reveals your real belief. Because if you really believe in the vision, if you really believe in what God put inside you, then you'll treat it like it matters. You won't treat it casually. You won't procrastinate on it. You won't treat your calling like a hobby. You'll take it seriously. You'll organize your life around it, your calendar, your energy, your relationships, your habits. All of it will align with the vision you say you believe in. That's how you know your faith is real, when it changes how you move. It's easy to say you believe when things are good, but when life gets hard, when you hit a wall, when your plans fall apart, that's when your faith gets tested. And if you have grind in your spirit, you'll keep going anyway. You'll adjust, not abandon. You'll rise, not retreat. Because you understand that faith is not just what you feel, it's what you do. You don't just believe in your breakthrough. You work toward it every single day. You don't just hope for success. You grind like success is your only option. You don't just say you trust the process. You stay committed to the process, even when it's quiet, even when it's lonely, even when it's slow. Faith gives you the reason. Grind gives you the results. Faith says, I know it's possible. Grind says, I'm going to prove it. Faith is the seed. Grind is the water. The sunlight, the daily tending of the soil. You can't plant a dream and never show up to cultivate it. You can't say you believe in the vision and then sleep through the opportunity. You can't talk about goals and then run from the grind. If you believe in it, then you've got to move like it's real. You've got to push like it's promised. You got to work like it's already yours. That's when faith becomes powerful. Not when it's spoken, but when it's supported by your actions, your habits, and your relentless grind every single day.